Queen rebuffed concerns surrounding her health on Thursday as she made her fourth consecutive appearance in 4 days as part of Scotland's Royal Week. Her Majesty attended the Royal Company of Archers Redendo parade in the gardens of the Palace of Holyroodhouse alongside her son Prince Charles, who used his Scottish title, the Duke of Rothesay. The 96-year-old monarch looked ecstatic in an Angela Kelly outfit with a matching hat. She smiled and waved as she stepped out from the Palace of Holyroodhouse, her official residence in Edinburgh. She then watched the ceremony from a chair while Charles greeted the members of the parade. The Queen has been at the centre of much speculation in recent weeks after she was forced to pull out of several key engagements due to difficulties with her mobility, including during her own Platinum Jubilee celebrations. However, the monarch appeared to be in high spirits as she attended today's event and was spotted animatedly smiling and chatting away as she watched the parade with the aid of a walking stick, while she also sat down next to Charles. In the gardens of the Edinburgh residence, more than 300 officers and archers from the Queen's Bodyguard of Scotland took part in the parade, with the event being the largest gathering of the Sovereign's bodyguard in history, with 25 officers and 298 archers expected to be on parade. The Royal Company of Archers acts as the Sovereign's ceremonial bodyguard for Scotland, a role first created in 1822 during a visit to Scotland by King George IV. Charles inspected the Royal Company with the parade commander, and the Queen was presented with a Redendo, a present from the officers and archers to mark the bicentenary of the Queen's bodyguard for Scotland. In past centuries, the Redendo presented to the monarch was a pair of arrows on a velvet cushion, but during the 3 occasions the Queen has received the gift, it has been replaced by more practical items: a brooch in 1952, glass vase in 1976, and a pen tray in 2006. As Princess Elizabeth, the Queen first became acquainted with the Royal Company during a visit to Scotland with her father, King George VI, in 1937, when he inspected them at the Palace of Holyroodhouse. For the event, the Queen was presented with a striking glass sculpture designed by Colin Reid, which she joked with the Duke of Buccleuch was much better than 2 arrows. On examining the gift, the Queen remarked, "Oh, how lovely." Traditionally, the Redendo was a gift presented as an act of service from the Royal Company to the Sovereign as a display of loyalty in return for certain privileges. The parade is now ceremonial and represents the company's role as the Queen's bodyguard in Scotland. According to Captain General of the Queen's Bodyguard, the Duke of Buccleuch, more officers were gathered as part of the parade in her honour than ever before. The latest appearance is just one of several to feature the royals as they mark the traditional Holyrood Week. According to Buckingham Palace, the traditional event is a chance for the Queen and members of the royal family to visit various regions in Scotland, meet Scots from all walks of life, and host thousands at the Palace of Holyroodhouse in recognition of their good work. It began with the ceremony of the keys at the Palace of Holyroodhouse in Edinburgh on Monday. During the ceremony, on the day of the Queen's arrival, she was symbolically offered the keys to the city of Edinburgh by the Lord Provost. The tradition dictates that the monarch returns them, entrusting their safekeeping to the city's elected officials. A video of the Queen, upon her arrival in Scotland, showed her waving to fans and navigating the train steps easily as she disembarked without assistance, despite mobility issues that have led to her scaling back public appearances. The video showed a royal assistant standing ready to help Her Majesty down the steps onto the platform, but the monarch descended the steps without any help. Yesterday, she was also pictured without a walking stick during an audience with the First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, but images from the meeting showed bruises on the back of the Queen's hand, which have raised concerns among royal observers about the monarch's health. However, medical experts explain that it's just a normal sign at her age. Earlier in the day, she also attended the Armed Forces Act of Loyalty parade at the Palace of Holyroodhouse to mark her Platinum Jubilee north of the border. The monarch, dressed in a heather-coloured silk wool dress and coat with a matching hat, waved to the crowds as she stood with the help of her walking stick. The Queen has been at the centre of much speculation in recent weeks after she was forced to pull out of several key engagements due to difficulties with her mobility, including during her own Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The monarch first sparked health concerns on October 20 last year, when she cancelled a planned 2-day trip to Northern Ireland after following her doctor's advice to rest for a few days. It later emerged she had been taken to hospital on that day to carry out some preliminary tests, the nature or results of which were never disclosed. The Queen did not attend any official engagements outside of her palace's walls for the rest of the year, but continued to carry out her duties as head of state and host virtual and in-person audiences. Among the key engagements missed by the monarch was the National Service of Remembrance in November, the Commonwealth Day service in March, and the state opening of Parliament in May. While she has reduced her working schedule, the monarch firmly remains at the helm of the royal family and has taken part in the celebrations for her Platinum Jubilee in early June. In a statement released as the long bank holiday weekend was coming to a close, the monarch renewed her pledge to continue to serve the country and the Commonwealth.